Good morning and welcome to Our Chicago. I'm Judy Sue. There are 6 candidates running to be the next Illinois Secretary of State. We recently spoke with the 2 Republican candidates, and this morning we're talking with the 2 Democratic candidates in this race. Former Illinois Treasurer Alexi Giannoulias and Chicago Alderman David Moore. Moore represents the city's 17th ward. He is an accountant who's worked in both the private and public sector, and he served as an assistant to the commissioner of the Cook County Board of Review. And joining us first this morning is Alderman David Moore. Good morning, and thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here.
Yeah, thanks for taking some time out on the Sunday morning. Let's start with a question that we're asking all of the candidates. What would be your top priorities if you're elected?
My top priorities are embedded in 3 areas: the service of the Secretary of State, the business of the Secretary of State, and the responsibility of the Secretary of State. First of all, due to service of the Secretary of State, it's important that this seat remain a servant seat and not go back to being a political seat. Back in 1997, I'm the only one in this race who circulated petitions and campaigned for Secretary of State Jesse White to get elected because this office was mired in corruption and scandal. And I am the only one in this race who has committed to not use this Secretary of State seat as a stepping stone for higher office, Senate or governor, but to make sure that I am running and serving in this office to make sure that all 20 departments is transparent, not just driver services, but business services, making sure that it's transparent as the state librarian and as the person who's responsible for maintaining and protecting the Capitol complex. And so that's from the second service side. From the business side, as you said at the top, I have a dual degree in accounting and operations management. I want to bring my 10 years of experience in working for Fortune 500 companies to make sure that we run an effective, efficient, and cost savings operation. As we talk about modernization, I am the first one in this race to introduce digital license plates as an option. And these digital license plates they had a myriad of opportunities, but 3 critical areas are safety, cost savings, and generating revenues that's been lost. From a safety standpoint, as we deal with these carjackings as an epidemic, not only in Chicago, but throughout this entire state, these digital license plates can serve as a mechanism to catch thieves. When a car is stolen, it can flash stolen. And 90 to 95% of the time, an offender can be apprehended and held accountable. Also, it serves as a deterrence. The other part is a cost savings mechanism, because we can, instead of going into the office and having long lines, we can do our titling, we can register, and we can renew using the digital license plate platform. But also we can use it as a get revenue in, because right now, we don't know who uninsured motorists are on the street, and these digital license plates can identify uninsured motorists so that we can get them in compliance and get that revenue that we're losing right now. And then finally, from this responsibility of the Secretary of State, is we're talking about voter integrity and access to the ballot. I want to make sure, and I'm the first one in this race to say that I'm going to create 122 youth engagement officers throughout this state using public-private partnerships so that our young people can have year-round interns teaching civic responsibility, and they can become part of the process. Also, right now, young people, they can get a driver's license at 16, but they cannot register vote. On their 18th birthday, they're going to get a letter from me saying you're automatically registered vote, giving them an opt-out option instead of an opt-in option, so that they are part of and on the voting roll and part of our civic responsibility and having a voice and a seat at the table. So those are my priorities as the Secretary of State of Illinois.
Well, Mr. Moore, you certainly touched on a lot of issues right there. I do want to ask you about campaigning for a statewide office. As we mentioned, you're currently an alderman here in the city of Chicago. Of course, running that statewide campaign is very different than an election here in the city. Some of your opponents are raising some big dollars in this race. We do know that you have been endorsed by Congressman Danny Davis, but how are you getting your message out if you don't have as much financial backing?
Absolutely, and that's another reason why I'm running. As you know, running for alderman in Chicago is one of the hardest things to do, and I faced the same thing when I was running for alderman. Anytime you're running against the establishment, so our young people cannot be in a situation to say you have to be a millionaire and you have to have certain political backing in order to be there. And so, what I've told people that I lived in the Quad Cities right after I graduated from college. I went to Western Illinois University, and I was in a RA there, and I developed a lot of friends throughout the state. That's why I announced from Western Illinois University that I was running. When I announced, all of those relationships that I developed across the state came to help me. And so not only did we get signatures just in the 17th Ward, not only did we just get signatures in Chicago, not only did we just get signatures in Cook County, people from Peoria County circulated petitions for me and are out there working. People in Decatur, people in St. Clair County, and throughout this entire state. And so people may have more money, but no one is going to outwork me.
Oh, Taryn, we're going to have to leave it right there. We're trying to keep the time the same for all of the candidates. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Okay, David Moore, a candidate for Illinois Secretary of State. And thank you. And after a short break right here, we will speak with another Democratic candidate, Alexi Giannoulias.
Hey, if you like that video, be sure to subscribe to our ABC7 Chicago YouTube channel.